Introduce our distinguished guests. You've already heard from Mayor Ed Swanson, Councilman Richard Clark, Councilman Robert Corbett, Councilman Robert Gettings, Councilwoman Marjean Scott, our City Manager, John Austin, our Assistant City Manager, Ben Myers. At this time, I would like to introduce our guests of honor for the day, all the veterans who have served in the armed forces. Would all the veterans please stand and please give them a big round of applause. If the veterans would keep standing, we have two of the students who are going to go around with the mics, and we ask each veteran to tell us your name, what branch of the service you were in, and where and when you served.
Okay, Ed Swanson, United States Army, Korea, 1951 to 53.
Steve Swipe, United States Navy, 1943, 45, South Pacific. God bless our country.
Amen. Richard Clark, Airman First Class, United States Air Force, one part of the time in North Africa.
George Darrisley. I served in the United States Navy twice. I was at the end of World War II from 1945-46. I was stationed at the Jacksonville Naval Air Station in Jacksonville, Florida. I worked on aviation ordnance. In 1950, when the Korean War broke out, I re-enlisted in the Navy. I was assigned to the USS aircraft carrier. We served in Task Force 77 off the coast of Korea. We used on the aircraft carrier 100 tons of bombs a day, 50,000 rounds of 20mm shells, but it was only a police action. With 2 aircraft carriers who were in there. I was in the Navy from 1950 to 1952.
John Schwartz, in the U.S. Army, 52 to 54, and I stayed in Germany.
Wayne Dickens, Korea, 52 to 54, U.S. Army Combat Engineer.
Regis Welsh, United States Navy, 1943 to 1946.
Ray Delecki, from 1941 to 1944.
Bob Drunk, United States Navy, 1943 to 1968, South Pacific during World War II.
Randy Carlisle, United States Air Force, Michigan, Florida.
Ann Brock, Navy, United States Naval Air Station, Minneapolis, Minnesota, from 1955 to 1965.
Bill Olszewski, U.S. Army, 1951 to 1953. Served at Vienna, Austria, which was 80 miles down the area.
Jack Scott, U.S. Army, 1956 to 1958 in Germany.
Frank Paul, Marine
Ed Rudicelli, United States Submarine Service, U.S. Navy, 63 to 69.
Hal Shaner, United States Navy, 1945 to 48, in the Pacific.
Jess Teddy, 1949 to 1952, Korea.
John Lemoretto, United States Army, the Army Band, 1950 to 52.
George Madijo, 1943 to 1946. I was a combat medic with the 78 Infantry Division. Where they went, I went with them, without a gun.
Albert Wayner, U.S. Navy, Gunner's Mate 3rd Class, Korean War, served aboard the USS Rochester, Heavy Comfort.
Norm Berginski, U.S. Army, 66 to 68, Nuremberg, Germany.
June Rogers, Nameless Army Corps, now an American citizen. I joined 1942 to 45. I joined after the DF raid where 85% of the Windsor boys were killed or captured. That was my joint.
Ed Novak, 1960, U.S. Army, Fort Leavenworth, Missouri.
Standing up still.
Leo Zalkowski, Army,
I have to be the
1943, 1946, was Patton's 3rd Army.
Jim Clary, U.S. Army, served 1951 to 1953. Served part of my time at Thule Air Force Base up in Greenland.
Peter Pecorini, Corporal, Army, 43 to 46.
Charlie Brenner, 3rd Infantry Division, 43 to 45.
Rick Lavin, U.S. Army, Second World War, and they liked me so much they brought me back for the Korean War. So I spent a year in Korea too.
Tom Mazer, 1956 to 1960, 2 years over at the Naval Air Station in Kingsville, Texas, and 2 years aboard the aircraft carrier Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Steve Cozio, Army, World War II European Theater of Operation.
Ed Brazzura, United States Marine Corps, 1948 to 1952.
Tony Napolitano, Philippines, from 44 to 46.
Richard Klein, U.S. Navy, 1962 to 1966, aboard the USS Intrepid and Independence.
I'm Stan Michalski. I served in World War II on B-24s as a gunner, 42 to 46.
John Baylock, 1950, submarine service all the time. Goodbye.
I'd like to thank students Montez Fennick and Samantha Adsit for going around. Oh, sorry, buddy.
Mike Clark, the U.S. Army, Artillery Infantry, 44 through 45.
Sorry, buddy. Thank you very much. And a big round of applause for the students and once again for the veterans. Now, would those of you who had or have a loved one serving or have served in the armed forces stand so that we could honor you and the veteran who is not here today? Jim Cleary will now play the Battle Hymn of the Republic.